Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm creating another art journal page and I'm working in my handmade art journal. I have primed the pages with gesso and now I go in with some acrylic inks. I'm going in with some Prussian blue acrylic paint and I just apply it with my fingers. The green ink is still wet and I blend both colors together. I just work intuitively on this page. When you have something that you don't like, you can just cover it up in the next layer. So there is no pressure and it's a really easy way to start an art journal page. I always have a piece of copy paper lying next to me to protect the under pages and also to clean up my tools and fingers, and these papers make wonderful collage papers for later projects. Here I'm also blending in some white paint. I'm using my fingertips to make some marks with the Prussian blue. I have linked up some other videos you might be interested in the top right corner info box. After I've heat set that, I'm going in for a next layer and I add some more white because I really like white space on my pages. I'm using the white paint over all those areas where I'm not 100% happy with. Working in layers makes your project look more dimensional. I let the pages dry completely before I go in with some more acrylic paints, and I picked complementary colors. Unfortunately, I have put the autofocus on. That was per accident and I will soon turn it off. As always, I have linked up the blog post of this project in the description box. There you can find some photos. And also don't forget to check out my website today for the free printable. As it's Friday, I have uploaded a new one. And I will use one of the older ones on today's project. There is also a link in the description box. I use different ways to make some marks on the page. I use my fingers and I will also use a brush. I'm using a small brush and paint some triangles on the page. I really like those colorful marks on the blue-greenish background. I think as these are complementary colors, they pop out even more. And they give the page a lot more depth. I also used the back side of my brush to make some tiny dots in some areas. And here you can see what I'm doing with the leftover paint and how the paper is already looking. And I really love those papers. They are my favorites and I use them, for example, for collaging or as pages in a handmade art journal. When the pages are completely dry, I go in with some stamping to add more interest to the pages. I have linked up all the stamps I'm using in the description box. The inks I'm using are StazOn inks because they work perfectly on an acrylic surface. As it's kind of a plastic surface, the StazOn inks dry the fastest. And here I'm sticking down pieces of my printables. Here I cut a U shape from one of the circles. When I search for collage elements that I put on a colorful page, I always look for similar colors on both. So here I have that light pink and the dark blue that matches the background perfectly. I went through my stash and found that leaf that was embossed in white, and it's from our loose floral stamps, and it's colored in with just the same green I've used on the background, and I think it matches the page perfectly, so I used this as kind of a focal image. And here I'm also adding a sentiment, which is made with the Mix a Sentiment stamp set. I always stamp the sentiment sets on different kinds of papers, and then I cut out the words to build my titles. And finally, I'm adding another piece from the collage papers to the top left side. and that's all I am doing to finish up the page. I'm really happy with this page. I think it's kind of a bit different than usually, and I love how this turned out. I hope you enjoyed that video, and I hope we see us next time. Bye!